About 2 months ago, I purchased a lot of three 1989 Maxx Toolbox sets. And while I was out of town, they arrived, and my girlfriend got the box, and I asked her to open up one of the plastics so we could see if the Dale Earnhardt was in there. Because I know that the 1989 wax boxes, or cellophane boxes technically, were not shrink wrapped, and I couldn't remember if the toolbox sets were. I know when you purchased it directly from Maxx, they came in a shipper that was roughly the same size as the box. It was like custom made just to fit the box and ship it to your house. And I couldn't remember if they wrapped them in cellophane, and I don't know if they actually did. And what I was searching for was to see if the Dale Earnhardt Senior number 3 card was in there. And if it wasn't, then I was going to return them, because then they would have been searched or the card would have been removed, and then they wouldn't have had any value to me. So while I was out of town, I had my girlfriend FaceTime me, and then she opened one of the boxes and to see if the Earnhardt card was in there. And the toolbox set is really cool. It's an interesting way to offer a factory set. The 1988 versions came in a small, roughly 100 count box, just small, foldable card box that we all have for our small sets, and then it just had a sticker on it to keep it sealed. And then Maxx would release larger, displays for their, or boxes for their factory sets. And, I do have some 1991, some 1990s, and I'm actually going to get a 1990 that I have sitting right here. This is the white box. There's a red box, and then there's a tin that has glossy version cards in there. And I don't know all the details about the 1990 set. I had a 1990 set back in the day, and I didn't go after all the different versions. I thought they were really nice looking cards. And if you want to learn more about the 1990 set, or even the 89 set, the 88 set, I recommend checking out the NASCARD podcast. Some of the guys are in the Facebook groups that I'm in, and they go in deep detail about all the different variations, how you could get them, the Holly Farm set that was released with the 1990 set. Like they just go into deep detail about all these things. And back to the toolbox set, you couldn't see the cards from any sort of window. And this is actually a little bit damaged. And they're really cool and kind of retro. For some reason, it just reminds me of maybe like a box that you would have gotten, say, like in the 50s. I don't know exactly why. I can't quite put my finger on why. Maybe it's just the color. Maybe it's the artwork. But it just looks like a really cool old vintage retro box. And it is vintage. It is retro. It's from 1989. And I'm really proud to have it. I never owned a toolbox set in the 90s when I started collecting NASCAR cards. So I'm proud to have one, and actually 3. And so I still don't know for sure if they were sealed with wrapping in the factory. And sometimes, if boxes didn't have a seal on them, some dealers would wrap them with their own cellophane. So hopefully somebody watching this can put that to rest for me. And this is the box that my girlfriend opened up. They were wrapped in a cellophane. You can see she only went to the left side, and because that's where this is card number 1, Rookie of the Year, Ken Bouchard. And they come in like an internal tray. So the damage on this box is limited to just cardboard damage. Now, there could be some trauma to the cards located in the corners. It's totally possible. Anyway, she just went through. I guess I'll show a little bit closer. This is the lock, or the latch is actually just a little flap. It's a really cool concept. I'm really happy to have it, because I used to see these at the card shows quite a bit, and especially the guy Bernie that I would go visit at the card shows always had one next to his 1989 box that I would save up and trade to get a pack from him, and they were $15 a pack back in the day. And I remember the first pack I opened had a Richard Petty in it, card number 43, where he's smoking a cigar. And I was extremely delighted to have that, because when you would open packs from Bernie, he would, give you like a trade value on certain cards that were valuable back, towards buying more stuff at the store or at his table. So it was really fun and really delightful. And he was one of the first people that I traded NASCAR cards with, and he was the only guy at that card show that I would go to every month that had exclusively NASCAR stuff. And him and his wife Patty were just such a fun couple to be around. And I was like 11, 12 years old, and this kid just bugging them all the time, and I would call Bernie all the time when he would get his new case of cards in. He would buy a case to open, and then a case to sell boxes and packs of, and it was just a delight. It was an absolute delight and a joy to know them, and for them to even spend time talking to me about these trading cards and educating me and dealing with me, and it really helped me along with being able to buy, sell, and trade. So I'll take this little insert out. I'm not going to move it too much up and down because I don't want to disrupt the cards for right now. I'll show the bottom after I take all the cards out. And then here on the bottom, congratulations on your purchase of this 1989 deluxe set of Maxx race cards. So it's a separate piece of paper insert. They should be a great investment. Mint condition cards are always the most valuable. Storing them in vinyl pages allows full viewing for the front and back of each card, while also keeping them in mint condition. Use the coupon on the back to order the official Maxx Race Cards album for just $12. Each D-Ring album comes with 25 vinyl pages, enough to hold your 1989 set. You can also use the coupon to order additional sets for family and friends. The set makes a wonderful gift for that special race fan or card collector. This offer is only good while supplies last, so hurry and order today. Very cool. And that is the inside of the box. And there's the order form on the back. Really cool. Really cool. Really neat. All right, close this up. We'll set that up there. All right. So I have penny sleeves with me. I have some card savers with me, and I'm going to go through this set. I'll just leave that there for now. All right. So I'm just going to get to it and get that Earnhardt out. That she did show me on camera, and it was really great. So first we have Ken Bouchard, Rookie of the Year. My goodness. can see Earnhardt behind there, but we'll just stay focused on Ernie Irvan. Okay, that doesn't appear to be dust. Card number 2. Unfortunately, there's kind of a print smear of some kind there. There we go. All right, buddy. Come on out. I mean, it looks great. It looks a little off-center, left to right. How am I going to do this? Okay, let's see. I'm going to sacrifice a few cards from this side so I can more easily access the senior. Okay, let's see. Let's just get that. Such a beautiful, beautiful card. Oh, what is that? A little speck of dust on there. Slide him back in. There is a little print mark over his left shoulder. 4 really sharp corners, off center a little bit. Right to left and slightly bottom to top. So there's more border on the left. There's a little extra border on the top. I'm just really proud to have it though. Green all the way to the edge. A little bit of a white soft corner there. And it's offset left to right, which is consistent with the front. So really, really cool card. Very proud to have it. So when she showed me this card, I was able to leave feedback for the seller and close down the transaction. So there wasn't going to be a return of any kind for cards missing, and I was really happy. I was really, really happy with getting this card, or getting these sets. Let me find a good card saver. Card savers are so expensive, so I reuse them. Let's see. Come on, Dale. Go on in there, buddy. You got this. There he is. Good old Dale. Nice and protected. There we go. Okay. And now what I can do. Man. I would understand if some of these toolbox sets actually got some damage on them from taking them out of the container, because the cards are just right up against each other, which is probably why they changed the packaging format for the 1990 set, I would imagine, where each little group is individually cellophaned and it's separated by plastic dividers. So let's see. Careful with these. 1989 Maxx is one of my favorite sets for the reason I told you earlier that I would go to the card show and I would trade and buy packs from Bernie, and then I eventually ended up getting a sealed box in 1997 from this dealer out of I believe it was North Carolina, called Old Pike Race Cards. I found Old Pike and the majority of the people I would trade with, Jeff Bodine, out of the back of the advertisements in Beckett Racing. I would call them every month when I would get the new Beckett in the mail. And I wouldn't wait a day after the Beckett showed up. I would instantly do it. And sometimes I would call them throughout the month just to see. There's Mark Martin. Love that shot. Absolutely love that shot of Mark in the Stroh's car. And I would call them all the time. I would call these dealers all the time. And I would bug some of them. Some of them wouldn't want to talk to me. Some of them would be delighted to talk to me. And they would trade with me, and I would send them my stuff. And this was in, 1995, 1996. And I would mail my stuff to them. They would mail, after they would receive it, they would send me the package that we agreed on. And 99.9% of the time, it was a delight. Wow, that Bill Elliott looks great. I love this card. My dad had a copy of this card, but it was from the not the peak set, but it was from the combo pack, so it didn't have the number, didn't have number 9 on the back. It was just blank right there, and it was autographed. And it was an old school Elliott autograph. I think he probably got it in like 1990, 1991, something like that. And it was in a 4, and I actually have the card now in the same holder, and it was in a 4 screw down holder, and it was in his office, and I would go there and I would just stare at that card. There's another Ken Bouchard. And so I loved this set, and anyway, I was able to trade the majority of the value. I was able to trade, and this was 1996. I traded for an entire box of 1989 Maxx from Old Pike Race Cards. And I would call that guy. That deal probably took like 4 months to do. Because I would, open some packs, trade for some cards at shows or through the mail, and then I would call him. His name was Mike. And I would say, hey, I got these cards. What value can we add to the 1989 Maxx box trade? And the cool thing about Old Pike was he was a distributor for NASCAR cards. So most dealers that I knew would get a case, maybe 2, of the NASCAR cards because they had a dealer's license and all that stuff. And he would end up with 50 to 100 cases of each product, and he would distribute them for Maxx. That Harry Hyde card is just classic. And so I was just amazed. So what I was getting at was he didn't use the Beckett guide. He figured out his own pricing based on the cost of the case, the production run, the rareness of the card, and he would come up with his own prices based on his calculations. And Darrell Waltrip, love that card, 1989 Daytona 500 winner. This is a great, great card. Waltrip's cards particularly go well with this set because the border and the theme really match his driver's suit and his car. And so he would come up with his own pricing, and it just blew my mind. And they would open a few cases of each product so that they would have some to sell. And I remember when he got the 1996 Press Pass M-Force, before the Beckett came out, I believe it was before the Beckett came out, he hit a Terry Labonte race used sheet metal card. And his price on that was $320. And I believe Beckett, no, it was, I think it was $180 because that card, 4 of the 6 cards in that set booked for $200, and the other 2 booked for $350, which were Earnhardt and Gordon. And Earnhardt and Gordon, he put a value of $320 on, and then the others he put a value of $180 on, and that was based off of math. That was based off of production run and how much it would cost to open one and the rarity of it and how many each card were produced. And it was really impressive to speak to somebody like that. Wow, that Tim Brewer is really sharp. Yeah, the white that shows on the back of these cards can make 1989s pretty fussy. And so anyway, I worked for months on this trade to get this wax box, and I think it was like a $750 box at the time, something like that. So I was ambitious at that time I was 13. working this trade, and I threw everything I had at him. I was trading any insert I could possibly get my hands on. And the final straw was when the final thing that sealed the deal on that trade, I had a stack of cards set aside that I was going to send him, as well as in 1996, the Burning Rubber cards came out with Press Pass. And my dad and I went to the Kmart's because Bernie told me, hey, you can actually feel that card in the pack. If you go and you feel the packs, there's only 3 cards per pack. The rubber card has a lump big enough, and I actually opened a box of 1996 Press Pass, and on my YouTube channel, and I find a rubber card in that box, and I kept the pack sealed. So, and in 1996 we went to the store. We went to the store, and our first time we tried that at Kmart, we found a Jeff Gordon 1996 Press Pass Burning Rubber 2 piece of the tire card, and it was incredible. I still remember very, very well. Actually, I need to go get some more penny sleeves, because these are the thick ones. I grabbed the wrong ones. All right, I'm back in action. So we felt the pack, found the 1996 Jeff Gordon Burning Rubber 2 card, which I went and got. Wow. And this is the first rubber card I ever received. Pulled it from a pack, found it at Kmart with my dad. We got it, and it was Jeff Gordon, and it was incredible. This card booked at $250 at the time, and the Burning Rubber cards, they were the first race-used NASCAR card, and the first series was actually the first event-used sports memorabilia ever put on a trading card. So this was just incredible. They were numbered to 500, which is a ton now, and I believe it was about a case hit per Burning Rubber card. And what I did is I told Mike at Old Pike, I was like, we just hit this Jeff Gordon Burning Rubber card. I think I was like, still $400 away, $300 or something away from trading for that box. And he was like, I'll tell you what, send me that Jeff Gordon card in a $125 money order, and then I'll send you that box. And it was tough to do because I knew that this had a lot of meaning to it, and at that time, or this would have a lot of sentimental value in the future, and it was tough to do, and I still did it. I sent him the card, $120 money order. It took me a little while to save up the $120. I did it. I got the box. I opened it. I made my own set, and then it was incredible. I was so proud to have that set because it was so expensive. It was so sought after, and it had Dale Earnhardt's rookie in it. At that time, it was known as Dale Earnhardt's rookie card, the 1989 Maxx. And then after a little while of owning the set, I thought to myself, I was like, man, I want to get that Jeff Gordon card back because it has so much sentiment. It's going to have so much sentimental value to me. And I took cards from the box I opened. I think I had a few Earnhardts, I had some Davies, I had, you get several of each card usually in each box. So I traded back for the card. I didn't take any money back out of my pocket, and I traded back for the card, and it was awesome. So I got the card back, and it was great. It was great, and I was very, very happy. And also, here's the pack that I still have from the 1996 Press Pass Premium box that I opened that has the rubber card in it. And I'll put a link somewhere on the screen here so you guys can watch that box opening if you'd like. I don't plan on ever getting rid of this. This is worth more to me in the pack than it is open, because you can buy any of the, let's see, 4 rubber cards that are from this pack for definitely under $100. Usually the Jarrett's, the Martin, Jarrett, Martin, Schrader will go for between 10 to 25 bucks, just depending on the day. And then the Gordon you should be able to pick up for under $50, usually in the $20 to $30 range as well. So having a rubber card sealed in this pack really is a great thing to have in my collection. I'm very proud to have it. So it was just a delightful time to be able to learn how to negotiate, learn how to trade, to have the opportunity as a 13-year-old kid to trade cards worth hundreds of dollars. I know now there are kids that are, tens of thousands of dollars hustling at the shows. You see them on YouTube and everything, and it's really impressive. And this was my joy. These were my special interests. These were things that I really focused on acquiring, and I was so proud to own. And I didn't have any friends that were into NASCAR cards, and it was interesting because the only people that were really into NASCAR cards were, people like my dad's age, these dealers' ages, in their 30s to 60s. And I dealt with some people that were really kind and patient. There's that Richard Petty. That Kyle Petty looks dang near spot on. Wow. The back is really nice too. There's a little bit of white on this side. King Richard. This was the card that I pulled out of my first pack. It was awesome. This is really nice too. Let's see what the back is. Might be a little tilted. I don't know if you can tell. It looks like it's a little skinnier up here than down here. We'll see. That one's really nice. Has a little bit of a soft corner. That's okay. Old Jeff Hammond. So I was very fortunate to have these adults that were willing to deal with me and listen to me and trade with me and take their time to help me build my collection and to learn about buying and selling and trading and all these things, these basic values of business that I learned through NASCAR trading cards. And it was just such a delight and such a joy. Oh, this is a nice one. It has a little, let's see, is that dust? Nope. Looks like it's an actual print smudge of some kind up there. 1988 Winston Cup champion, Bill Elliott. Now that card looks clean. Whew. Might be a little off center somewhere. And it has that smudge on the top, which is unfortunate. And that's okay. Old Bud Moore. Lucky enough to get his autograph and meet him. Jimmy Means. If you haven't listened to the Jimmy Means podcast on the Dale Jr. Download, I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. If you don't listen to the Dale Jr. Download, then actually, I don't know that you would have found me before you would have found the Dale Jr. Download. So, but I definitely recommend it. Phil Parsons without Marcia from the 1988 Maxx set. That was incredible. And I bought, I traded for or bought 10 packs of the cool thing about having that box is it not only got me my Jeff Gordon card back, but it gave me a ton of trade. I had a ton of leftover cards because I probably traded for 5 to 10 packs to Bernie. So I had a chunk of the set already created, and I had all these leftover 1988 Maxx cards, so I could walk to Bernie, show Bernie what I had, if he needed them for sets he was trying to create or for clients that he had. There's that Pit Crew Champions Dale Earnhardt card. Beautiful card. That one's really nice. Again, a little white showing on the bottom corner. So I had all this trade, and I was able to trade more cards back to Old Pike. Dang, that Rick Hendrick is nice, except for it's got the white blemish on the top. And then I was able to trade I was off to the races at that point. I was finding more rubber cards and crystal balls and all kinds of things since I'm in Hot Pursuits in the 1996 Press Pass. So we just went to every Kmart, Meijer, Target that had these and just got every insert. And the 96 Press Pass Premium in 1996 was selling really well. People really wanted all that stuff. And I had a bunch of it. So that, coupled with these 1989 Maxx, I was able to get some Myrtle Beach packs, some Charlotte packs, and there's one time I traded for 5 to 10 packs. I believe it was 10 packs of Myrtle Beach, because Mike bought a case in the 90s of 1988 Maxx Myrtle Beach. And I have another story about that, which is more of a recent development over the last couple of years, and I'll share that in another video soon enough. And I was able to get 10 packs, and I opened them up, and I asked Mike all kinds of questions about what the differences were in the cards. You know, he gave me all the different variations and everything that I could find what I was looking for. And so I would study the cards after I opened them to see if I could tell a difference in the Myrtle Beach versus the Charlotte. And I believe I can, or at least then I believe I could, and I still believe I can a little bit tell the difference if you give me a non-variant Myrtle Beach card and a non-variant Charlotte card and put them next to each other. Not let me know which pack you pulled them from. I believe I'd be able to tell you. I believe. So anyway, out of those 10 packs that I traded for, I got 4 Talladega Streaks, 3 or 4 Talladega Streaks and 1 or 2 Phil Parsons without Marcia. I believe I had 2 I believe I had 3 of Talladega Streaks and 2 Phil Parsons without Marcia. That Richard Childress is nice. Love that shot. And then I had even more to trade. And those packs were $25 at the time. And I was trading. I wasn't taking a lot of money out of my pocket. I was getting lucky. I found a little hustle finding the packs at Target and Kmart with the inserts in them from 96 Press Pass, and I was just off to the races, pun intended. And it was just a joy. It was an absolute joy. And I bugged these card dealers so much when they were trying to deal with so many other things. I'm sure I'd call Bernie when he was eating at night, and they were so polite to me too, you know. They were so polite to me. Anyway, it was an absolute delight. So I don't know that you guys necessarily want to see the rest of me sleeving these cards. That was really the story of these 1989 Maxx Toolbox sets, and also just the history, just a little history of my own personal trading card collecting. And it's just been a joy, and it's been an absolute delight to get back into it over the last few years and to be able to reconnect. And I guess I'll tell a little bit about the more recent development with Mike from Old Pike. Is I was able to reconnect with him after almost 25 years, and I was able to acquire a few boxes from him. I'll share those in another video. So, well, I mean, I've gone this far. I've gotten half of them sleeved already, so I might as well just finish it up with you guys. Just for, history and documentation purposes and everything. Just sleeve an entire set of 1989 Maxx from a Toolbox set. daylight. Looks like there's going to be a storm. Love this 1988 year in review. That's at Talladega. When we went to Talladega, my first three races, I've been to Talladega 3 times, and we sat in. If you were to just get a larger, wider shot of the picture, we would have been like right here on that little. It was called the paddock area, and it had like a little red cover, a little red roof over the top that had Winston logos on it. And it was incredible. We were like right behind Dale Earnhardt's pit stop, right in front of and to the left of Victory Lane. And that was actually where the reporters, the bathroom underneath those stands is where the reporters that's where their dressing room was. And funny story, in 1994, so my phone just doesn't want me to finish recording these videos. I know it's quite a bit, so I ended up finishing up sleeving the cards, and I'll finish the story that I was trying to tell you about Talladega and Dale Earnhardt and Jerry Punch. And so what happened is Dale Earnhardt won the race, the Winston 500 in 1994. It's either the Winston 500 or the Die Hard 500. And the road to Victory Lane was right next to our stands. So here's our stands, here's Victory Lane, and the little road here goes up and around to Victory Lane. So I was able to just pop down, walk around, and stand right here. And then Dale, when he was driving up, I bopped his hood a few times, and he pointed at me and gave me a thumbs up, and then he kept driving. And it was incredible. It's the only time I got that close to Dale Earnhardt, and it was great. I was so excited. I ran. I told my dad and everything, and then when we were about to leave, I went down to go to the bathroom, which there was a bathroom right underneath the stands. And to my surprise, Dr. Jerry Punch, that's where the announcers got changed, and maybe a few other officials, but that was their locker room. And he was getting changed out of his uniform into his street clothes. So I quickly bolted out of there because that was shocking. And I told my dad, I was like, Dr. Jerry Punch is in there. Can we get his autograph? And he said, yeah. So I waited. And then as he walked out, I said, hey, Dr. Jerry Punch, can I have your autograph? And he just kept walking. And my dad was like, hey, Jerry. And then he came back, he signed the autograph, and then he went. And then so what he did was he went and did the Victory Lane interview with Earnhardt, came over, changed out of his pit reporter uniform, and then went off to do something. It looked like he was going back over to Victory Lane, since him and Earnhardt were buddies. So anyway, and I have a picture of that, and that was a really special time. So I finished sleeving the cards. I was really happy to look at these cards again, go through them, sleeve them up. I'll put them in a binder and just save them. These I may send off for grading, or I may not. I'm not 100% sure. I'll just stack them in my pile that I have that I'm going to be submitting for grading at some point. This being a 220 card factory set, there are a few pieces missing. One is I believe it was a 20 card sticker set that you could get in packs. I believe you got one sticker flag card per pack, and then there was there was an alternate cover card that came in the combo pack, as well as I believe a 9 or a 10 card set. Maybe it was not the first 9 cards, or maybe not the first 9 cards, but it was 9 card set, and they didn't have the numbers on the back. This also doesn't include the Crisco set. And there may be another variation of the set that I'm forgetting. And generally that's what will get you a true master set. So this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the videos I'm making and you made it this far, this is a really long video. If you made it this far, hopefully you'll leave me a thumbs up on the video, leave a comment about your memory of 89 Maxx or 88 Maxx, and subscribe if you'd like. I'd love to hear your stories about NASCAR and NASCAR trading cards. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you guys have a good day.